to Love Advice TV. My name is Coach Adrian, relationship coach, and in this video, we are going to talk about the no contact. Does no contact really work? Do exes return? And I really wanted to take some time to explain this concept to you. As you know, after a breakup, it is extremely difficult to understand what we're going through, to grasp all the emotions and the feelings that we're experiencing. And so many people feel that no contact, pulling away, is the best way to get our ex to come back, to give us attention, to tell us they miss us, and to start anew. But the reality is that no contact, as a rule, in applied this way, actually doesn't always work out. And I would even go further and say it doesn't usually work out because it comes from an intention really to manipulate your significant other, your ex, into giving you attention and validation because you miss him and because you just want to get back together. The pain is excruciating. You just want to make things right. But as a relationship coach who has helped thousands of couples rebuild healthy love since over 10 years ago, I can tell you that you must look beyond the short term goal of just repairing a broken relationship and really think about laying the healthy foundation for healthy love to be able to flourish. I would be doing a disservice to you as a coach if I did not help you see beyond the process of just winning them back. Because it's not just about manipulating them back into coming into your life again. It is about true change, maximizing this time that you have, this unique opportunity where out of the ashes and out of the crisis, something new can emerge. A new version of you, more mature, as well as a different type of relationship where your needs are met and where you're able to communicate with each other in a way that both parties feel connected and empowered by the relationship. And so, looking at no contact as a communication strategy, as a rule to apply after your every breakup to get back together, is a big mistake and it does not work because your ex doesn't trust you, because your ex feels like you're being manipulative or desperate. Intentions matter. The purity of your intentions matter. And being in the right mindset is actually what can determine if you will be successful at not just getting back together, but also staying together, or whether you won't be. And that's why I wanted really to do this video to answer your questions about no contact, but also to provide you with experience from the field, having coached thousands of people since 2015, to share with you some of the questions that real clients like you have asked me and how I've answered them. And also to answer all of your questions, because I know that many of you are live with me today, and I'm eager to engage with you, to interact with you, to understand what you're going through, and to provide you with guidance. So thank you to Golem, thank you to Gabriel and Lucy for being live and for asking your questions. A couple of points that is extremely important for me to highlight here is that ultimately, if you want to be with someone that you love, what is most important is that you let that other person choose to be with you. That's what you did the first time around, and that's what you're going to need to do again now, especially after a breakup. And the more you give your ex an opportunity to remind you why you're no longer together, or to remind you why you shouldn't be together, the less likely you are to rebuild trust. And the more likely you are to not be in the right mindset this no contact mindset that you need to be in order to nurture healthy love. So instead of focusing first and foremost on a communication strategy, what you need to be asking yourself is, how do I process my emotions? How do I overcome the fear of losing my ex? How do I overcome this fear of them moving on, finding someone else, forgetting about me? Because that's what leads you to desperation, to manipulation, to short term thinking that is beneath you and that's not going to help you ultimately be in the type of relationship that you want. So, before I answer a few questions linked to this notion of no contact, I wanted to share with you some pretty cool and important free resources that are at your disposal. First and foremost, I'm doing a free live training coming up in 10 days. And you can register for my free live training through the link that I will put in the chat right now. Please come. You're going to learn so much and you're going to really, really, really be inspired. And we will also have an opportunity to explore this concept of no contact in a much, much more profound way than you ever have experienced. And I will also have an opportunity to interact with you and enter and really understand what you are going through and provide you with guidance and answers. The second resource that I wanted to share with you is really free videos on no contact, on this topic, really addressing it at a very clear, specific, insightful way, highlighting the many facets of this concept and how you can apply it based on your reality and what you're going through. And to do that, I've created a new YouTube channel just centered around this concept of no contact and what it means for you and how you can apply it to your reality. And so I invite you to go check that out, subscribe if you haven't already done so, and I try to provide you with new videos and guidance at least 3 times a week. Finally, for those of you who want to go beyond this type of guidance and advice and want personalized advice working with me, I invite you to contact my team. And I'm going to put the link here in the description again, where you can set up a free assessment call to decide whether working with me one-on-one, a private coaching session, makes sense, if this is the right fit for you and also for me. So I just wanted to share these free resources that are at your disposal before I forget. Now, I've been asked by AP, who says, he said we don't work. He didn't see a future, that he is basically romantically detached, and he was blindsided by some of my behaviors and actions. And basically, this person is asking me, can he still return or am I delusional? And it goes back to this question of, does no contact really work? And I'm so happy that you've asked this question because many people have doubts. You're focused on the negative elements and all of the obstacles that you have to face in order to create a new and improved relationship. The truth is, you're not delusional. It's an uphill battle. You've made mistakes. But what's most important is that we stop making those mistakes right now. We don't compound the problem, because that's when we get into trouble. And if you're able to avoid these common mistakes, you will see that in time, with the right mindset, a new relationship can emerge, even when someone tells you that they've moved on. Because what I've seen as a coach is that at the time of a breakup, our significant other wants us to respect their decision, wants us to give them space. They don't want clingy behavior. And so oftentimes they will say things to try to get you to get off their back. But it doesn't mean that pulling away won't help create the conditions for a new beginning. And I think it's extremely important for you to understand this. Another question that I get asked often is whether I should tell my ex that I'm going no contact. And that is a very good question. Andrew, for example, asked me, how does one create the feelings? She told me she doesn't love me because of what I did during the breakup. She wants to try it again in a year or two. We're currently friends. Should I pull away and tell her that I'm pulling away? So, in certain cases, it makes sense. It is very, very important for you to understand that the key is not to try to manipulate, right? And so, when you are communicating nicely and in a positive way, it may feel very, very weird for you to just all of a sudden stop responding to your significant other. What is the point? And in these types of situations, you need to ask yourself, does it even make sense for me to pull away right now? And the answer is often based on your ability to control your emotions and how you feel interacting with your significant other. If you're constantly triggered, constantly putting them on a pedestal, or unable to manage your emotions, then yes, even if communication is good, it's probably a good idea for you to pull away on your own terms. And you can tell your significant other, look, I appreciate staying friends, and this is something that I want in the future, but at this time, it's probably best for our mental health and peace of mind and happiness for us to not talk for a little while. And by doing that, you're showing maturity, but you're also showing that you value yourself and that you can pull away on your terms. And that is important in order to rebuild a healthy foundation. In other cases, perhaps when you've tried to reach out to your ex incessantly multiple times through multiple platforms, sometimes even getting blocked in the process, then maybe reaching out to your significant other isn't necessarily the right thing to do, to let them know that you're going no contact, you will not be reaching out to them again. No, may not be necessary. But it's important for you to have a sense of self awareness and for you to really think about what you can do to rebuild trust, to really regain self respect. And those are clear indicators that actually you are rebuilding a healthy foundation, which is what this no contact mindset is focused on. And so I wanted to also address some of the questions from our live audience here today. I really appreciate you tuning in. This is a space that I'm trying to create weekly for us to be able to support each other, for me to share some of the lessons that I've learned any given week in my coaching sessions, and also to share with you some exciting news and things that are happening, like this new YouTube channel, this free webinar training that's coming up in 10 days that I'm so excited about. And also, the fact that you know that there is support here. I am here. I stand ready to support you, to walk hand in hand with you if you feel like you need that support. And if you're unsure, you can book a call with our success manager, and his only goal really is to assess your situation. He is not a coach, but he can tell you if this is the right fit. And I don't want to waste your time. I don't want to waste my time, and I only want to work with those that are truly committed. So if you are going to go down that route, make sure that you're really ready to invest the time, the money, the effort to work together through a true process of personal transformation. So Jennifer says he cheated on me and left me for another girl. Is there any chance that he will come back? Jennifer, I am so sorry to hear about what you're going through, and unfortunately, um, I know how difficult it can be. And Lucy here is saying that she's in the same boat, which is heartbreaking. I've spent the last 4 or 5 years researching infidelity and really helping married couples, couples who are dating, who go through infidelity, to rebuild and to repair when it is healthy to do so, when there's a genuine desire to, from both parties, to do the work, to learn, to grow, to rebuild trust. Because only when one of the two parties is the only ones invested in trying to rebuild this relationship, especially if it is you who has been cheated on, the risks of finding yourself in a relationship where you will be unfulfilled is it's quite high. I don't want you to lower your standards. I don't want you to accept the unacceptable just out of fear of losing this person to another woman. It won't help you be happy. It won't help you be fulfilled in love. And so it's very, very important for you to make sure that, Jennifer, that you are fighting the good fight. And which entails making sure that this man shows through his actions, through his behavior, that something has changed, that he is willing to earn your trust. So to answer your question, all hope is not lost. I've seen many people cheat, go on to even date their affair partner, only to regret their decision once they realize that they really mess things up. But don't stay faithful to someone that you're not in a relationship with. Accept the situation and the reality for what it is, and focus on your healing process first and foremost. And it will be my pleasure to work with you in that regard, to make sure that you are ready to nurture healthy love in the future, and to make sure that you don't compound this situation by really making more and more mistakes. And because that can be quite challenging. Okay, so Gerard says, after 21 days of no contact, I sent my ex a message. She instantly replied within minutes, and we talked for an hour. Should I wait now for her to reach out to me? Beautiful question. This is centered around reestablishing contact after no contact, after a period of pulling away, right? The reality, Gerard, is that a lot of it depends again on your mindset. How do you feel? How have you actually evolved? And how has your significant other evolved? Because if you're reaching out from a place of desperation and vulnerability, it won't be well received. And it's also very important for you to make sure that when you do reconnect, the how you reconnect is important just as much as the whether you should be the one initiating or not. Are we able to show detachment? Are we able to show that light interaction is possible? Are we able to rebuild from based on connection and chemistry and not come off as desperate? The circumstances of the breakup itself, how it was announced, how it was justified, what happened is also very important in determining this. We don't want to reward negative behavior, but at the same time, we want to show, again, maturity and growth. And so sometimes it's in the details that we actually articulate a plan as to when we reach out and if we initiate and how much ownership we take over that process of reconnecting. I invite you to come to my free webinar in 10 days. Sent you the link in the chat. It's going to help you really understand this question, because you're going to understand your reality and the reality of your breakup recovery in a much, much more profound way. If you can't wait 10 days, book a call with our team, and let's see if we can work together to be able to put a personalized plan in place for you. Okay, Zach says, I just got back with my ex 3 months ago, but we recently argued and now she wants space again. What do I do? So Zach, first and foremost, don't panic. I'm very happy that you were able to get back together. But again, have you really addressed the foundation? Have you developed new tools to be able to handle potential conflict, potential arguments in a more healthier, productive way? Because if it's just time that has passed and you got back together because you missed each other, but you're still the same people, you're going to find yourself in the same situation again. And many times I've worked with individuals who were in on and off relationships, who didn't really actually take the crisis as an opportunity to change and to transform themselves and to build new habits. And unfortunately, you can find yourself caught in that spiral very quickly if you don't do the work. So do the work. You're still together. Space does not mean break up. Give her what she wants. But most importantly, make sure that you are now able to deal with perhaps your insecurities, your fear of losing her, and disagreements in a healthier way. That would be what I would want us to work on if we were to work together. Developing tools to communicate better and to avoid like these big time conflicts, right? Because ultimately, relationships are about commitment, and there will be challenges, and you need to learn to overcome those challenges in order to be in a healthy relationship. Okay. My moon says, yesterday I accidentally messaged my ex girlfriend who broke up with me 1 year ago. Okay, how did that happen? And don't panic. It's okay. I many times I've worked with people who have put in so much work, been really thoughtful and considerate about how they're gonna engage and communicate with this person that they really truly love, only then to pocket dial them, butt dial them, or find themselves in a situation that they felt unprepared for. But there again, if you have been doing the work, no matter what the circumstances are, you're going to be able to come correct. And you're going to be able to showcase the growth and the change because you are a breathing, living proof of that change. Change that has happened at the level of action, behavior, and even thought. So don't worry about this. And we can't control everything. Even if it's your second breakup cue. I've coached many people who have broken up multiple times. And as long as you are committed to doing the work the right way, you can build a relationship. Because many times what I've seen is that individuals are attracted to each other, love each other, but are not mature enough to nurture healthy love. You don't have the requisite qualities to be able to deal with the pressures that come, external or internal pressures in a relationship. And so it's easier to break up than to weather the storm. So if you approach this the right way, it doesn't necessarily have to be the end. Okay. So Alexa says, it's been 7 months, almost 8. He's always the one to reach out and tells me he loves talking to me. We were together 5 years. Is it still possible if he loves talking to me? Definitely, it's still possible. The fact that he is reaching out shows that he misses you, that he's thinking about you, and perhaps still even that he loves you. But the question is, can he commit to you? And can you make sure that you don't excuse his behavior or lower your standards, right? How do you feel when he just reaches out to you out of the blue because he wants to talk to you? Is that triggering? Are you actually truly happy? Do you enjoy these interactions, or does it make you anxious? And how do you feel in the aftermath? Because if you don't feel good and you're only doing it because out of fear of losing him, then perhaps setting a boundary is the right thing to do and letting him know, you know what, perhaps we can be friends in the future, but now I need time to heal. Sorry. Because that shows that you value yourself and it forces him to value you too. But if that's not the case, if you're actually feeling good and empowered and you're able to leverage this platform, communication platform, like I like to say, to rebuild that connection and that chemistry, then go for it. Ultimately, in order to get back together, you must talk to each other and you guys are there. But you need to be unapologetically yourself. That doesn't mean desperate and needy and telling him you love him. It means not seeking his validation, showing him that you are the prize in that sense. And if we're able to do that, then I do think that good things are to come and that you can use this as a stepping stone to rebuilding a new relationship. Again, I invite you to come to my next free live webinar in 10 days. I've shared the link. I can share it again. And if you're interested in potentially doing private coaching session, you can also reach out for a free assessment call with members of my team. So this is the link, my dear, for Alexa, to see if you would like to work together. And also, I am sharing again the link to my next free live training that I think you will really, really enjoy and benefit from. So Rebecca says, how do you implement no contact when you see the other person because you have children? What mistakes should I avoid when he comes over? Beautiful question. A question that I've been asked countless times since 2015. I've actually done a seminar specifically on this question. So again, no contact is not a communication strategy, it is a mindset, right? So what we want to do, Rebecca, is to make sure that we're not giving him too much attention and validation. Of course, you must co-parent. We need to put the well-being, the interest of the children first. So we're not going to just stonewall him. It's not healthy. It's not helpful. But you must protect yourself first, your heart and your mindset. So it's okay to engage and to communicate with him, but make sure that you don't show him too much attention, validation. We're not trying to convey to him that we want to get back together. We want to convey to him that we're truly, sincerely interested in having a healthy co parent relationship. But at the same time, we need to set boundaries based on your comfort level. So it's about not getting emotional, not telling him you miss him, that you love him, that you want to get back together, or really to lean on him emotionally in some ways, right? We need to show him that you're actively seeking to move forward with your life. Doesn't mean being manipulative, because I need you to actually take those steps. And the more you do that, the more you're going to be able to feel good, to reclaim your power, to be confident, to be attractive, and for him to realize that more freedom, more independence doesn't mean more happiness. Because ultimately, it is in the context of committed relationships that we can truly flourish and grow and be happy and really overcome our worst impulses and our vices. And so even though we may feel like a breakup, a separation, a divorce is the only way forward for us to be happy, quite often we're just opening Pandora's box. And I believe, Rebecca, that he may have done that as well. So as long as you are growing, are being accountable for the things that you need to learn and change and the qualities that you need to develop, you're okay. You're actually in a very good place. And most people who share children are in favorable circumstances as long as they are able to overcome their fears and their insecurities and their negative emotions. And if you need support or help with that, I really encourage you to reach out to me so that we can work together. Okay, it's not personal. There's a lot of questions coming in hot, and again, a lot of free resources at your disposal. So I hope that the quality of this live on the technical side was good. We're still testing, still trying to optimize. And my hope is to come and to do this on a weekly basis, to check in with you, see what you're going through, and really encourage you to take the next best step in your breakup recovery. And if you're able to do this, you will see that the things that seemed impossible and the doors that seemed closed can be opened. And you can be very proud of yourself for fighting the good fight and going about it the right way. So I'd like to thank you guys for tuning in. And if there are questions that I have not answered, my apologies. We can take it a week from today, and I will do my best to answer those then. So keep fighting the good fight, and I look forward to connecting with you very soon, perhaps in my next free life training. And take good care. See you soon.